Okay, so good afternoon, boys and girls again. So welcome again to your English class, and today the class is going to have, or is going to be about these 4 topics, okay? So we are going to work on infinitives of purpose, past simple, present simple, that are the topics that we've been learning during these weeks, and also we are going to mix them all with affirmative and negative sentences, okay? Entonces, bienvenidos chicos, lo que vamos a hacer el día de hoy es cómo escribir y pronunciar propósitos que tengamos. Vamos a agregar el pasado simple, el presente simple y las dos maneras que tenemos de utilizarlas, que son las frases afirmativas y las frases negativas, okay? So for that, the purpose of the class, or the objective of the class today, is to use infinitives of purpose in different sentences using past and present simple. Entonces vamos a utilizar infinitivos de propósito en frases con pasado y con presente simple, okay? So the first thing that I'm going to do is that I'm going to explain to you what is this of infinitive of purpose, okay? And then we're going to mix them with past simple and present simple. Entonces vamos a conocer la definición de estos, vamos a mezclarlos con los dos tiempos que hemos visto, y aparte de eso vamos a mezclarlos también con verbos regulares y verbos irregulares, regular and irregular verbs. So the first thing that we have to learn about infinitives of purpose is that they are part of a sentence when you are referring to a motivation or when you are referring to a cause of something. Entonces es la parte de una oración a la que nos referimos cuando tenemos alguna motivación o sabemos que algo va a pasar o que nos proponemos algo. So it's kind of a purpose, es como un propósito que tenemos. So I'm going to explain you with this sentence. So we're going to begin with, for example, this one. Children use sunscreen Okay, so let's analyze this sentence. So we have children use sunscreen to protect their skin of the sun. Entonces los niños utilizan pantalla solar o protector solar para proteger su piel del sol. So infinitive of purpose is this one that I have here. Okay? So this word, this little word, is the infinitive of purpose. So I'm referring to the way or the cause that I'm putting into the sentence that help me to identify the cause of the sentence that I'm making. Entonces, cuando yo me refiero a un infinitivo de propósito, estoy marcando como una causa, porque hago alguna acción. So, in this case, the action is this one, use, well, sunscreen, okay? La acción es el uso del protector solar, but I have to make the clarification that or why, or the reason why I'm making the action. Es como la razón por la cual estoy ejerciendo una acción. Entonces en este caso la acción es utilizar protector solar, pero tengo que poner la razón por la cual los niños utilizan el protector solar. Entonces este es un para proteger su piel del sol, okay? So we have that infinitives of purpose or the main function of an infinitive of purpose is to tell the reason why the action is there. So I'm making, or I'm yes, I'm making the clarification to the person who I'm speaking with or to the person who is reading me. Entonces estoy haciendo la aclaración a la persona que está hablando conmigo o a la persona que me está leyendo. ¿Listo? So, we have like some characteristics, but first of all, we're going to make it with these two forms. Okay? So we're going to start mixing the topics. Vamos a empezar a mezclar los temas. So we have infinitive of purpose. We can use to, or we can use in order to. They are referring to the same thing. Se refieren a la misma cosa, a expresar la razón por la que hago alguna acción. But this one is more formal. So you can use this one in a formal like context, en un escenario más formal, okay? And also to, you can use it whenever you want. El to uno lo utiliza cuando uno lo necesite o cuando uno quiere, okay? So, there is another function, or the same one, but they help us to clarify. So these ones are the two functions. So we have them, the infinitive of purpose to tell the reason why the action is there, but also to clarify the other person or the person who I'm speaking with why I'm making an action, okay? Entonces nos sirven como para dar la claridad a la otra persona por qué estoy ejerciendo o por qué está pasando eso que está pasando en ese momento. When I'm speaking and when I'm writing, okay? So there are like a few characteristics of those infinitive of purpose. Tenemos varias características de esos infinitivos del propósito. Y es, the first one is that I can use to and I can use in order to. That's the first one. La primera es que puedo utilizar to and in order to. So they are the same one. They are referring to the same thing. Sirven para lo mismo, se refieren a lo mismo. But this one, in order to, is kind of formal. Is more elegant. Okay? Es más elegante. And also, we can use them, or there is another characteristic, and is that we can use them. I'm going to put the characteristics with yellow stars. Voy a poner las características con estrellitas amarillas, okay? So the other characteristic is that we can make it with affirmative, or we can make it in negative. We can use it both. So first one, to, in order to, the same meaning, and this one, affirmative and negative, we can use it with both, okay? So we are starting mixing the topics. Ya empezamos a mezclar los propósitos, los temas. So we have affirmative and negative, and we have present simple and past simple. So we're going to make a chart in which we are going to classify them. Vamos a hacer un cuadro en el que vamos a clasificarlos, okay? So I'm going to erase this one. So let's make kind of a feedback. Vamos a hacer un tipo de recorderis. With past simple and with present simple. So remember that in both we have our famous verb to be. Recuerden que tenemos en los dos nuestro hermoso y famoso verbo to be. That is the one that change or that we can conjugate in a different way. Acuérdense que se conjuga diferente. I am, I was. Eso ya lo hemos visto en las clases anteriores. But in past simple, we have regular and irregular. Regular and irregular verbs. I'm going to make it. Okay. So remember that regular verbs in past simple always ends in ed, or in d, or in iaed. And irregular, they always change. They look different, they write different, and also we pronunciate them different. Entonces acuérdense que en el pasado simple tenemos verbos regulares, verbos irregulares, que los verbos regulares acaban en ed y que los verbos irregulares son los que cambian muchísimo, que cambian su manera de pronunciarse, que cambian su manera de escribirse y también cómo se ven, ¿ok? So they change a lot, ellos cambian mucho, ¿ok? And we have in regular verbs, remember that the verb never change, even if we have different pronouns. Acuérdense que en verbos irregulares, regulares, nunca cambian, siempre se conjugan igual para todos los pronombres, que I don't know if you remember the pronouns, I, you, he, she, it, we, they, and you, okay? Entonces, estos son los pronombres los que hemos venido trabajando, okay? So, now we're going to like make some sentences, but we're going to make some sentences just with past. So we're going to start by past. Vamos a empezar por el pasado. So, for example, so I have this sentence, tengo esta oración. So I said, I was at the beach to see the sunset. Estaba en la playa para ver el atardecer. So to is my infinitive of purpose, es mi infinitivo de propósito. And see the sunset is the reason why I was at the beach in this hour. Was, remember that is the verb to be. So it's here. And remember that we have like the special conjugation of the verb to be in past, okay? So verb to be is an irregular verb because it changed a lot, okay? Let's make another example. I can say, this one. So, do we have questions? No, nothing? Okay. So, Carlos woke this morning to go to his job. So, I'm referring, or the infinitive of purpose here is to. Remember that is telling me the reason why or the cause why I'm making the action. So, the action here is walked, and if we are making in past simple, remember that all of the regular verbs ends in ed. So that's why I'm adding at ed here, okay? And also, the reason why Carlos was walking this morning, la razón por la que Carlos estaba caminando era porque tenía que irse a su trabajo. So to is the reason why. Entonces el to es la razón o la palabra que me conecta las dos oraciones. So, let's make another one. I went on holiday. I went on holiday to visit my family. Yo fui de festivo o me fui de viaje o a vacacionar para visitar a mi familia. To is the infinitive of purpose. This one, I went on holiday, me fui de vacaciones, is what I did. Es la acción, lo que hice. This is a key information. What I did. Esto es súper importante. The first sentence is what I did. La primera frase es lo que yo hice o lo que estoy haciendo. O lo que en este momento estoy haciendo. And the second one is the reason why. So this is the connection between the two sentences. Esta es la conexión entre las dos frases. So I went on holiday. Yo fui de vacaciones o me fui de festivo para visitar a mi familia. Entonces, this is what I did. Esto es lo que hice. This is the reason why I did that. Esa es la razón por la que hice eso. Quería visitar a mi familia. So there are two actions that are connected. Son dos acciones que están conectadas. So I went, an irregular verb. We are using past simple, remember. And visit is my second verb. And these two are connected by this one. Okay? Para hacerlo. Okay? So to is kind of para. Okay? O por. Right? So let's make other examples. Remember about the pronouns, okay? We're going to use them. So let's make it with, remember that the second characteristic, acuérdense que la segunda característica era que también podíamos utilizar el infinitive of purpose with a negative sentence. So all of these ones that I wrote here, todas las que escribí aquí, eran positivas, okay, or affirmative. Sorry. The ones that I'm going to make are negatives. But vamos a hacerlo con negativas, okay? So, for example, hi, Santi, how are you? Yes, I guess they are hearing, okay? So we have this sentence. So this one is a negative way. It's a negative form, but it's not, the action is not the one that is negative. The one that is negative is the infinitive of purpose, okay? So as you see, la acción está afirmativa, pero el propósito es el que está en negativo. So remember that the second characteristics of the infinitives of purpose is that we can do it affirmative and negative. So let's analyze this one. I drank, yo tomé, so past simple, and it is an irregular verb, es un verbo irregular because it doesn't finish in ed, remember that. I drank coffee not to fall asleep, para no quedarme dormido. Tomé café para no quedarme dormido. So this one, oh, sorry, another color, is the infinitive of purpose that I'm using in negative, okay? Es el infinitivo de propósito que estoy haciendo en negativo. Santi, I don't know if we have questions. How many students do we have today?
Hoy tenemos exactamente 9.
Hi, 9 students. Yeah, it's cool. Let's make it with a positive one. Vamos a hacerla con una positiva para que vean la diferencia. So I can say she went to she went to the gym to keep fit. Okay, so let's analyze this one. She went to the gym. She went, an irregular verb in past simple, verbo irregular en pasado simple, to the gym. Ella fue al gimnasio para mantenerse esbelta o para mantener la figura. So, to is the infinitive of purpose. So, you see the difference. In this one, we add a not. En este agregamos un no. So, I drank coffee not to fall asleep. Tomé café para no quedarme dormido. So, the purpose was to not falling asleep. El propósito era no quedarme dormida. Para eso, tomé café. And the infinitive of purpose is connecting me, the sentence. Entonces, el infinitivo de propósito me está conectando las dos frases y los dos verbos. This one, que es tomar, and this one, que es quedarse dormido. Okay? And then, in the positive one, yes?
We have a
Tell me.
Richard nos pregunta
Richard,
cuál es
how
la
are you?
diferencia de don't y doesn't.
Don't and doesn't. Okay, I'm going to explain this one and then I'm going to explain the difference between them, okay? And this one is the one that is positive. Y este es el que está en positivo. Entonces ella fue al gimnasio para mantenerse fit, okay? So this is a verb and this is a verb. Irregular and regular verb, okay? Now I'm going to explain you the difference between don't and doesn't. So we have in English some auxiliaries. Acuérdense que en inglés uno maneja varios auxiliares. So we have the have to, the don't, and the doesn't, and also the verb to be. All of them we use it as auxiliary verbs. Todos ellos los utilizamos a veces como verbos auxiliares. So what is the difference between don't and doesn't? The subject in which you use it. El sujeto en el que los utilizamos. Porque su función es exactamente la misma. So, you, I, you, he, she, it, we, they, and you. So we have I don't. Remember that don't and doesn't are in present simple. Estos están en presente. Okay? You don't. She, he, and it doesn't. We don't, they don't, and you don't, okay? So this is the difference. There is no difference. No hay diferencia. No hay nada que los diferencie. Únicamente que doesn't, I have to use doesn't with the third person pronouns. El doesn't lo utilizo con los pronombres de tercera persona, que son she, he, and it. Because it is a present verb, okay? Es solamente eso. That's the difference. So now we're going to make the sentences, but these ones with, so we have past simple. We're going to make it with present simple, okay? Vamos a hacerla con presente simple. Remember that in present simple, we don't have like a big change on the verbs. Acuérdense que en el presente simple los verbos no cambian mucho, o no cambian en realidad. So, present simple. I can say, for example, Diana So let's see this one. Vamos a ver este. So this one says, Diana exercises every day to stay healthy. Diana se ejercita todos los días para mantenerse saludable. To, infinitive of purpose. So what is the purpose? ¿Cuál es el propósito? Mantenerse saludable. Para mantenerse saludable, ¿qué hace Diana? So Diana exercises every day. Se ejercita todos los días. Remember that Diana is a she. Is a girl. She is a third person. So when I have a verb in present simple that is with a third person, I have to add an S. Acuérdense que Diana es una niña. So ella es una tercera persona. A las terceras personas en el presente simple les agrego una S. Okay? So Diana exercises every day to stay healthy. Let's make another one. Vamos a hacer otra. This one, as you see, is with positive. Esta está en positivo. El infinitivo de propósito está en positivo para mantenerse saludable. Okay? Let's make another one with positive. So, So we have, she studies all days to get her graduation. Ella estudia todos los días para obtener su graduación. So this one, too, we have the infinitive of purpose here. It is a positive one. Este es un positivo. And I'm going to add, or I'm adding, in present simple, the verb and the es, or the es, because it is a third person. Estoy agregando la es porque es una tercera persona. And the action why he studies every day or all days. La razón por la que ella estudia todos los días es porque quiere graduarse. Okay? Get her graduation. She needs to get her graduation. Let's make two, but with negative statements in infinitive of purpose. Vamos a hacer dos en negativo con los infinitivos de propósito, okay? So these ones are positive. Let's make the negatives here, down, below. Vamos a hacerlos aquí abajito. So negative. I can say, for example, he or Daniel gets up So let's analyze this one. So I have Daniel gets up quietly, calladamente o silenciosamente, not to wake up his wife. Daniel se levanta silenciosamente para no despertar a su esposa. So not to is my infinitive of purpose, es mi infinitivo de propósito, de manera negativa. Okay? So Daniel gets up quietly, not to wake up his wife, okay? And remember that Daniel is a third person, so I'm going to make an S. I'm going to add an S here, okay? Let's make another negative form or negative sentence. I can say, we study online So let's see this one. This one is like a funny joke. Esta es como una broma. So we study online not to use transmilenio. So we, it is a pronoun and it is a plural. Acuérdense que es un plural. So the verb is the same. El verbo se queda igualito. We study, nosotros estudiamos en línea, not to, para no utilizar transmilenio. Okay? So that means that the connection between use transmilenio and no go to study is not to. So it is a negative, para no utilizar transmilenio. My purpose or my objective then change because it is a negative objective, okay? And then we're going to make some other examples. So let's see. So I'm going to make three sentences, three with positive statements or positive infinitive of purpose, and then I'm going to add three with past simple, and then I'm going to add three with present simple, okay? Entonces voy a tener questions, nope. So we have, vamos a tener tres frases con el pasado simple y tres frases con el presente simple. And you're going to decide, or you're going to tell me if it's a positive statement or infinitive purpose or a present statement, okay? Van a decirme si es un positivo o un negativo, okay? So I'm going to make the past sentences here, and I'm going to make the present aquí. Entonces voy a hacer las del presente acá y las del pasado acá, y ustedes me van a decir si son infinitivos de propósito positivos or negatives, okay? So, 1 and 1. Let's see. They Let's make another one, number 2. Diana So we have these two. So let's see. We have in present, in past, and you're going to tell me if it's a positive or negative statement. So, they talked to their mom to go to a party. Ellos hablaron con su mamá para ir a la fiesta. They talked to their mom, it is one sentence. Go to a party, it is another one. And the connection or the reason why is here. La razón por la cual están pidiendo o hablando con su mamá es porque quieren ir a la fiesta. Okay? So, to. And also, to is alone, so we have a positive statement. Aquí está una frase positiva con infinitivos de propósito. Then we have Diana woke up at 6 a.m. to go to work. Diana se despertó, woke, talked. So talked, a regular verb, verbo regular, termina en ed, mírenla acá. And woke, verbo irregular, because it changed a lot, okay? Se despertó a las 6 a.m. porque, o para, ir a trabajar. O sea, the connection is between go to work, Diana tenía que ir al trabajo, por eso se levantó a las 6 a.m. Okay? Also, it is a positive one, también es positiva. Then we go to, let's go to the present, vamos a ir al presente. So remember, verb, irregular verb, and then we have the present. So we talked to my grandma to stay at home more days. Nosotros hablamos con la abuela para quedarnos más días en casa. So, to is the connection between the two sentences, es la conexión de estas dos frases. So we have a verb, tenemos un verbo, second, two verbs, and to stay at home more days. Se querían quedar en la casa de la abuela más días, por eso les tocó hablar con ella. Okay? Also, it is a positive one. Okay? También es un positivo del infinitivo del propósito. And then we have Leonardo studies math to explain to their students. Leonardo estudia matemáticas para explicarle a sus estudiantes. So, The action, we have two actions, tenemos dos acciones, or two verbs of actions, dos verbos de acción. The first one is studies, the second one is explain. Primero es estudiar, el segundo es explicar. And the connection or the reason is here. Entonces el tú es mi conexión. Leonardo estudia matemáticas para explicarle a sus estudiantes. So again, we have a positive statement. Otra vez tenemos una afirmativa, okay? Let's make two more, and you're going to decide if it's negative or positive, okay? So this is the third one. Okay, so this one is the same example that we did previously. Es el mismo ejemplo que hicimos ahorita. So we have, I drank coffee not to fall asleep. Yo tomé café, drank, verbo irregular, because it changed. Coffee not to, para no. So the purpose is negative. El objetivo es negativo, para no quedarme dormido. Okay? So I have two actions that are connecting with an infinitive of purpose. Then we have the present one. So the present one is, we stay at home not to go to work today. We, the subject, stay, the verb, another verb is work. So the connection between stay and work is to. Entonces es dividir las frases. Work today. Entonces nos quedamos en la casa para no, sorry, this one is not. Para no ir a trabajar hoy, okay? So the action is here, it's not work, it's go. Nosotros nos quedamos en la casa para no ir a trabajar. So it is a negative, but remember that the negative is not the verb, is not the action, is the purpose, okay? Entonces acuérdense que no es la acción la que es la negativa, sino el infinitive of purpose, el infinitivo de propósito, okay? So we have to and not to. So we're going to check. Vamos a revisar. So I give class to So we have two different examples. Tenemos dos ejemplos diferentes. So I give class to make my students better. Yo doy clase para que mis estudiantes se vuelvan mejores. So to is the connection between this one and this one. La conexión entre give and make. Okay? So make my students better is the reason why I'm giving them class. But que mis estudiantes sean mejores es la razón por la cual yo doy clase. Okay? So this one is the first one. It's kind of cursi, you know. This one, Diana. So I have Diana sleeps in the afternoon not to fall asleep at work. Diana duerme en las tardes para no quedarse dormida en el trabajo. Okay? So, no quedarse dormida en el trabajo es el propósito de Diana, que duerme por las tardes. So it is the connection between them both, okay? So I hope everything was clear, and also I'm going to check the chat. Okay. So there is no questions, and remember that we're going to have class on Tuesday and on Thursday because Wednesday is a holiday, okay? So I think, I don't know, Tatiana, if you want to help me because, okay.